Hi and welcome to Across the Desk. This week we're going to discuss how Ryan Walters wants autocratic rulemaking authority in disregards of the Oklahoma Constitution and cutting out the legislature's role when it comes to policy making. Attorney General Drummond has issued an opinion within the last week when it comes to Ryan Walters' authority to make rules without input from the legislature, or even have the legislature make the rules. This was at the request of a representative named McBride. He's a Republican, and he is the chair of the House Appropriations Committee on Education. It's a subcommittee. Anyway, he requested an opinion from Attorney General Drummond. And Attorney General Drummond came out and said, yeah, Ryan Walters does not have the authority to make rules without input from the legislature. Actually, without any direction from the legislature. That's the purview of the legislature, to make laws, to make rules. And that goes for administrative functions like the Department of Education. See, that falls under the administrative branch. They can't make rules, they can't make laws. That's not what the administrative branch does. They enforce the rules and laws that the legislature makes. So the legislature makes the laws and the rules. The administrative branch is supposed to enforce them. Who's part of that administrative branch? Well, the Secretary of Education. That's part of it. So, by doing what Ryan Walters is doing, he's actually breaking the law. He's actually going against the Constitution of Oklahoma. And he's being very authoritative and autocratic about it. As we move on through this opinion that A.G. Drummond put out, I just want to say that Drummond actually might agree with what Ryan Walters is doing. Hey, look, some of the stuff you're doing, trying to get rid of porn in schools and all this stuff, I might agree with. But it's the way he's doing it that he disagrees with. Drummond disagrees with the way Ryan Walters is handling this. He disagrees with the way the board is handling this because they're making their own rules, is what they're doing. They're making rules that is the purview of the legislature. And Drummond came out and said, hey, you know, can't be doing that. So, there you have it. He may actually agree with what Ryan Walters is doing here. It's just that he's absolutely trying to use integrity. The guy's a lawyer who wants to be integrity by that. So he wants to say, hey, yeah, I might agree with what Ryan Walters is doing, trying to take books from schools, trying to do things with sex education materials. He may agree with the way Ryan Walters wants to go after dues-paying union members of teachers. That's another thing he wants to do. He wants to create a rule to go after teachers' unions and how they pay dues. That's another rule he wants to create just on his own without the legislature passing a law. This is highly illegal. It's absolutely unconstitutional. It's absolutely un-republic-like. That's not how our republic works. It's absolutely anti-republic. This is authoritative. That's what it is. It's Ryan Walters wanting to be a dictator. He's wanting to be an autocrat, and this is how he does it. He gets in there, he takes over this system, the Board of Education, and his secretary spot, and he just says, you know, I have the power to do this, when he really doesn't. He doesn't have it. So now McBride, who is the chair of this committee, and he's a Republican by the way, said, hey man, he's undercutting us. This is our job to do this. Can you please give an opinion? And he did. He gave the opinion and said, you know, he doesn't have the authority to do this. He doesn't have the authority. He's not an authority to be able to make rules against transgender kids. He's not able to make rules against what books can be allowed in schools. He's not allowed to make rules as to what sex education materials may be taught in school, or allowing one parent to take away whatever materials are being taught in school, which is another thing about conservatism right now. They really hate the freedom of those people they disagree with. They hate their freedoms. That's what this is about. This is about forcing their conservative ideology on everyone else. That's what it's about. It's about indoctrinating everyone into being a conservative. And that's what it's about. Liberals don't exist. And if they do exist, we got to make them illegal somehow. We got to make sure that liberalism means woke, and we got to get rid of it. We got to make laws against it. We actually even got to get rid of the Democratic Party if we can in some cases. That's where conservatives are at today. It's not about a marketplace of ideas anymore. That's not the conservative party of today. It's a conservative party of our ideas may not be able to compete in the marketplace of ideas, so we need to squash these other ideas by calling them woke, making them boogeymen, doing whatever we can to scare everybody to say, hey, we need laws that put the thumb down on people that would go down and check the box for Democrat on their voter registration form. That's what Ryan Walters is all about. He's not about freedom. He's not about democracy, and he's absolutely not about the republic. Not when he's trying to assert a legislature that their whole job is to represent a body of people and create laws on their behalf. That's not what Ryan Walters was elected to do. He wasn't elected to do that. He wasn't put in a position by the governor to do that either. He doesn't have that kind of authority. But people like Kevin Stitt and Ryan Walters, even if they may not have it, and they may even know that they don't have it, they're going to try to take it anyway. It's just how they are. Because they truly, truly hate our form of government. They hate it. They want the power for themselves. They think only they know best. The conservative is the right way. You have to be a conservative, and we're going to pass these laws to force you to be a conservative. That's actually what this is. It's actually passing laws to change people's behavior using morality laws and morality police in a big conservative government type of way. And I'm glad to see some conservatives here fighting back on it, going, this really isn't how it's supposed to be done. This is anti-freedom. This is anti-representation. You can't do this. So we do have them standing up, even though Drummond came out and said, I agree with him, but he needs to do it through the legal process. We can't have him do things this way because it damages our system of government. But that's kind of Ryan Walters' goal. He would love to damage our system of government. He'd love to get rid of it so that he could be an autocratic, theocratic type of ruler. That's what he wants to do. Instill my Christian values onto you, whether you are or not. And really, whether you believe in my type of Christianity or not. Are you Unitarian? Well, that's too bad. That's not what Ryan Walters is. You may not be able to do that anymore. You may not. Free Will Baptist? I don't think he's that either. He may look down upon that. He's definitely not a Catholic, and he probably looks down on that too. Jews, Muslims, Buddhists? Well, those are a small minority of people here. They don't matter to him. Minorities don't have rights. It's not even about mob rule for him. This is about him rule for him. That's where Ryan Walters is on these things. So we have this opinion by A.G. Drummond that comes out and says, hey Ryan, you really don't have all this authority, and that you really don't have all this autocratic rulemaking authority. You just don't. That's where you are with Ryan Walters today. Ryan Walters, who's doing these big Chicken Little acts. He was out the other day saying, look at all these books that are porn in schools. He has like his secret shoppers going out everywhere. He has doing underhanded stuff. This guy's so corrupt. He's so corrupt. Where's the millions of dollars that are missing that they haven't investigated? What happened to Class Wallet? What happened to the $31 million in 2021 that just seems to be missing out of the education budget? What happened to it? We don't know. Ryan Walters does. He absolutely does. Because he's an icky person. He is. He's full of hate and vitriol for people that he doesn't even know. He wants to harm. He absolutely wants to. One of the things he does in his rulemaking deal, he wants to out minor children to the public. Put their names and their faces out there. He wants to know everything about them. If you're transgender, well, we need to know it. It needs to be reported to us and be reported to the parents. We need to report it to the public. This person's gay. That person's transgender. Hey, look, let's dox this person because I don't like them. It's about intimidating people that he doesn't like, putting his thumb on them, making them stay quiet so he can keep the power. That's what Ryan Walters is doing here. He's an absolute scumbag. And absolutely took the money and is protecting people and doing their bidding, whoever it is that is doing this, that's telling him to do these things. Betsy DeVos, the Koch brother, any of those other organizations. And his fans are rabid. If you go to his Facebook page, they will do anything. They will dox you. They will come at you. His cult-like followers are probably some of the most dangerous people in Oklahoma. This all goes, and the fallout isn't just on what he's doing as far as being an autocrat, as far as being authoritative. This has real fallout. This has real effect on how people perceive Oklahoma. Right now it's so gerrymandered. Voices are being squashed. Minorities are being attacked. People don't want to come here. And they wonder why. They're not coming here. They aren't. They just aren't. We are losing companies that want to come here, and they find out that, one, we just don't have the workforce for it. We don't have the educated workforce for it. Which is another thing when you have Ryan Walters come out saying, hey, don't go to college in Oklahoma. Really? Don't get those skills. Not here. Because that's all woke over here. You don't want them skills. Well, you know, the companies that want to come here, or the ones that we want to entice to come here, they want those skills. They want people to have them. That was such a blunder on his part. Such a blunder, such a big, huge blunder that Kevin Stitt had to come out within 3 hours to do a press conference to go, oh, wait a minute. I would be happy if every kid went to an Oklahoma college. If that's what they want to do, I'd be very happy about it. I had to come out and play damage control because Ryan Walters is such a moron. What a strategic idiot. You're going to get up there because of your little chicken little act about wokeness and how porn is everywhere, and it makes you anxious that we have to get rid of everything and investigate everything and tell everybody not to go to school here. That just looks sad. That's why VW won't come here. That's why everybody's left. And so now, at the end of it all, we also have Sonic CEO came out, gave a opinion piece, and said, hey, you know, we must commit to being a welcoming state. We have to have these diverse people here for our workforce that have different sets of skills that we can bring together so that we can work together to really achieve something. It's the really only way you're going to succeed. The CEO of Sonic said this. We're losing businesses because of Ryan Walters. They won't come here because of him. Because he's an authoritative autocrat, theocrat to the Christian religion. He's a Christian nationalist. He's a white supremacist. I mean, you saw him there when he was being schooled by somebody and he was real pissed off about it. So he gave his, you know, white power symbol while the guy was speaking. That's what Ryan Walters did. Yeah, he didn't think anybody would notice or that anybody would care, I guess. But they do. So that's Ryan Walters this week. Getting slammed by Attorney General Drummond saying, hey, you don't have the authority, you don't have the autocratic ability to make your own rules. You make your own laws. That is reserved for the legislature in our republic that Ryan Walters seems to hate so much. This is Across the Desk, and we'll see you next week.